morning, everybody. We
Hello.
are here for our mid-morning break room show. Time to kick back, relax, and do some chit chat. I'm Tommy the Bargain Effect. I have YouTube content coming out, primarily sell eBay, Macari, just flipping stuff secondhand. And I'm joined this morning with Pittsburgh Anthony and Land Shark Picker Craig, not the Land Shark Picker. Often confused. And Derek is not feeling so well today. He may jump in. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And you guys want to give a hello?
Sure. My name is Anthony. I have a channel called Picksburgh, P-I-C-K. I do a lot of yard sale, garage sale, estate sale, Goodwill bins, thrifting, basically anywhere I can go get cheap stuff and sell it online for a profit. That's what my channel does. I also do Bible studies every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. I do live working hangouts every Saturday at 3 p.m. This is all Eastern Standard Time. And every day of the week, I have reselling content released on the channel as well. And several days, I'll even do double uploads since I am so ahead on videos right now. Tomorrow is going to be one of those double upload days because I'm going to go do a collaboration today with a brand new reseller in the community. His name is Nate. His channel is Every Day I'm Hustling. He's a Pittsburgh guy. So he and I are going to do a collaboration today at the Goodwill bins.
That'll be fun. Y'all go mentioning Nate. Y'all go check out his channel. He just released his first video. Earlier this week? Was it this weekend?
Yeah, it was I think on Monday.
Monday, yes. Yeah, y'all be sure you check him. Every Day I'm Hustling. He may jump in. He's here some mornings. But hey, my name is Craig, Land Shark Picker without the D in front. Going to be moving all my live stuff over to a second channel, Land Shark Picker Live. So y'all be sure you check out that channel, please. Same thing all these other guys do. eBay, Amazon. Sometimes I don't have much on Amazon right now, but do a little Macari, Facebook Marketplace. Source on Craigslist.
Hey, Derek.
What's up, man?
Guys, what's up?
Man, if you feel good, go get some rest. Not that we don't want you on here, but don't feel like you have to be here.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll be here. I want to be here. So,
yeah, all the standard stuff. I source Craigslist and some auctions as well. But really appreciate everybody showing up again this morning.
All right, glad you can make it in, Derek, man. I was fighting sickness the last couple of days. The first day I'm feeling really good.
yeah.
Glad you could make it in, but if you feel you need to kick back and get some rest or whatever, man, feel free. Don't feel that you have to stay here and be uncomfortable.
Hey, guys. Hi, everyone. Morning, guys. So
That's Derek, NASCAR man, 345. He's the toy specialist.
More toys, more fun.
that's it. That's it, guys. So
who would like to say the hellos this morning? I love saying the hellos, but I usually massacre names.
Anthony's the bomb on that one.
You want
Yeah,
to
go ahead and do it. I want to go ahead and say hello to everybody that is with us this morning. We first one in was Lisa C., the awesome link dropper. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being here. Plucking Minnesota Reselling, also known as Hyper Mango. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you go ahead and sub under your new channel. That way you can get the notifications. Diane Matthews is here with us. Thank you for being here, Diane. Good morning to you. Kelly, the Ecom Mom Ward, is in the house. Thanks for being here, Kelly. Look forward to having you on the show eventually. Michelle Lathan, good morning to you. We have Borderline Hoarderish, Kimberly. Thank you so much for being here today, Kimmy. I really appreciate it. Boodle Boodle Oops. We have Veronica, the cherry picker. She's getting ready to do some live shows, guys, so make sure you pay attention to her channel. She does release some reseller content as well, so you'll enjoy her. We have DC Sales, the master of the license plate, custom stuff. I might have to get some custom Pittsburgh stuff from you, DC Sales. Justin Jacobs is in the house. How's my buddy doing over there in Oklahoma? I haven't heard from you much, Justin. Look forward to catch up with you here soon, man. Who else do we have in the house? Rump Stump Reseller. Thanks for being here, Jamie. I appreciate it. Mary Touch.
We need to say a happy birthday to Miss Jamie Rumstump Resale. It's her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday!
She's either 19 or 20, I think. I'm not sure which one.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah, I know Derek would normally sing, but I don't know if he's feeling up to it this morning.
No, not today. Definitely not today.
So now Craig's got to do it.
uh,
Happy birthday song.
happy birthday.
I mean,
That's as close as it gets.
it'd probably make your birthday bad if like one of us sang to you.
Right.
I'll say good morning to Ciosa Sales too. Ciosa just started releasing content as well, so you want to make sure you go ahead and subscribe to her channel. Ciosa, I'd love to have you on Saturday if you're interested in coming onto one of our hangouts.
Yeah, just like we haven't pushed it as much lately, but if anybody out there is a creator, we talked about Nate starting up his channel, and somebody else, Ciosa's put out her first video. If anybody has something cool coming up, don't be afraid to say something in the chat. You're not going to get chastised here. Some channels don't like you promoting your own channels or saying, hey, I've got this going on, or dropping links. We're not that way.
No, absolutely not. We're here to support each other. So
I've used the terminology Anthony used today. We're very inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to build an inclusive community. That's what I guess that's the best way to say it.
Cherry Picker did hers the other day.
Veronica. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Misha Renee, I hadn't seen her this morning, but she's gotten a little more comfortable under the camera. So that's
Oh yeah.
that's good to see. But eBay and Macari.
yes.
Word.
So today I picked the topic how to level up with eBay and Macari. And I picked the topic. I'm not here to try to teach you guys how to do it. I picked that topic because I'm hoping that you guys or chat can help me with that. It's something that I'm struggling with. I seem to be at a point where I hit a plateau. And I'm not a little seller, but I'm not a huge seller either. And I want to go from that in-between level to the next level. And what I'm struggling with is I seem to be stuck in this same old grind. It's source, list, sell, source, list, sell. But I don't seem to be climbing anymore. It's to the point to where I'm feeling maximized with what I'm capable to do by myself. And the issue is, the funds are there to pay bills, to resource product, but I'm not really at the point to where I'm putting any decent or as much money in my pocket as I'd like.
It's easy to get caught in that because I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, I just sold. I don't have the number of listings I need to have. It's on me. It's completely on me that I don't have as much listings. Like I've said before, I hate listing. It's hard to do. I don't like it. It's the worst part of this job. That's my challenge. But I think it's easy to get in that mindset of I'm doing all this work and I see results, but I don't see that much as much as I need to see going in my pocket. And I don't know if that's what you're saying, but it's I know you've talked about some of the replenishable things. Would it help ramping up more items like that? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of,
It definitely would help with probably items like that because it would cut down on the listing. I know one of my big downfalls is my location. Because I have to travel, an hour and a half to be able to source decently. Which now you're talking, gas there and back, and I drive a truck, so that's not super cheap. And then, like I say, we try to make the most of it, so we'll find a cheap motel to stay in overnight, so we can actually jam pack 2 days. So that eats up funds, and it just seems like it's a vicious cycle. I mean, I'm doing okay to my standards, but I'm not doing as well as I'd like to be. And it's like, because I have to travel, it takes away from listing time. We got to go so far. I mean, even if I want to source, my closest Goodwill is 45 minutes away, I do have a thrift store that's 2 blocks away, but we're in a small town. The merchandise just it's not there. You know, I mean, every once in a while we can find some stuff, but it's just not there. So I'm just caught in this thing. I know ultimately what I'd like to do is move to where the product is. That would solve everything, right?
Yeah.
Now I need enough money to make that move. So this is where the cycle sticks.
Oh yeah, it's a big catch-22. It's a big cycle, like you said, for sure, and it's tough. You know, it's frustrating when you put in all this effort and you see a return, but you're just not seeing that enough where you're just able to, like you said, get over that hump, take that next turn, you know, get to that next level. I hate to say levels because that's
Right.
That's different. That's a different word to me. I don't, you know, it could be taken wrong somehow. So I hate to use level. That's somebody's at this level better than somebody at this level. That's not the case. You know, I don't know. You know, finding more replenishables. I know you get out there and sort. You try and make the most of it. Is it a fact of really hitting it harder on the sourcing side? You know, do you have a big death pile? Is it, you know, do you need to process more of the stuff you already have? Is it that you need more help listing your stuff? I don't know. I'm just trying to throw ideas out there to stimulate, you know, conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I know where the problems are. I just don't know how to solve them. You know, like I say, sourcing, I can get product. It's just
Right.
the time and the expense of getting it that dips into the profits. With that time, it also interferes with listing. Helping listing would probably help get over that issue, but now you're coming down to hiring somebody and having the money to guarantee pay them, because I don't want to be one of these people that say, man, we just didn't have the sales this week. I know you listed 200 items, but I just can't help you out. Hopefully next week's better, you know?
That's a tough direction, you know, especially if you're going to be paying somebody.
Right.
And you get down to, do you pay them by the hour? Do you pay them by the listing? If you're paying by the hour, you're paying well, either way, you're paying regardless. But, you know, like you said, if they list 200 items, you're paying them $1, $2 a listing, and none of those items sell.
Right.
And I think that's where, if you're going to hire somebody, you got to look at it that way. You know, if you're going to have them listing something, they've got to make their money plus some, you know, to cover that cost. And it's tough. I don't know, because you can very easily get into that mindset of spinning your wheels, like the hamster on the wheel, you know?
Yep.
I'm running, I'm working really hard, but I'm getting nowhere. I'm just running in the same circle.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that's what it is. Like I say, I'm doing okay.
Right.
It's just I want to ramp up, and I just can't seem to. The obstacles, I'm not sure how to overcome them. I know there's a way. I know there's an always, they say, if there's a will, there's a way, and it's just trying to find that way.
Do you think it's a fact of balancing your time between sourcing and listing?
I would say my time management skills probably could use much improvement.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And it's with not that I'm not organized, but my time management has always been a problem for me, and it's because I hate listing so much. It's the easiest thing for me to say I'm doing something else. I'm doing something else because I don't want to do it, you know. And then everything in my business suffers from it, because, like it or not, sales are driven from listing.
Yeah.
You know, that's your money maker. People say you make your money when you buy something. No, you don't. In my opinion, you don't. You make your money when you list something.
Yeah, you can buy it, sit there and not make you a dime.
Right. But if I go source something that's worth $1,000 and it sits in my death pile for a month or 2 months or 6 months, I haven't made a penny off of it.
Right.
And I don't list it. You know?
I think I have a little bit of the opposite. My time management is really well spent. Basically, any amount of time I have free normally is spent working downstairs, getting stuff either listed, organized, whatever. My issue is I'm limited by what my body will allow me to do. You know what I mean? That's really what, between that and, like we talked about the other day, not having enough, I don't know if you'd say disposable income, but like to take that next step, you know what I mean? Like if I were to need to take, if I had an opportunity, like I said yesterday, like with Justin, to go spend $1,000 and get all those Funkos, I just don't have the extra $1,000. You know what I mean? That between my body and the disposable income, that's really, where I'm limited in going to the next level. One thing that I'm looking to do currently is I have a PayPal debit card. I run my entire business financially through that. I'm looking to get maybe a business credit card that I can use to help maximize spending opportunities to help narrow that gap. I'm still going to have an issue when it comes to, making a big purchase, you know what I mean, like in cash. But at least if I have the credit card, that at least opens me up to say, hey, can I pay you via PayPal and then use the credit card on PayPal? Or, something along those lines. If there's like a big RA deal that I find, I can go, basically buy it out if I had, a business credit card. So another thing I actually just recently did, I did it this morning, actually. I actually went and I incorporated my business, because before I was doing it just as an individual. Now I went ahead and I actually made it like on paper, a corporation. So I think that's going to help me out as well, getting that EIN number so that I can apply for some of these higher limit cards.
And if you have that, you can get your tax exemption, whatever it's called, exactly. Certificate or whatever.
And I'll be able to also apply to get like a reseller's form where you can go and actually start buying stuff, at wholesale and stuff like that. So I think it's just going to open up a world of new opportunity. Plus, now it won't be as bad, like IRS related stuff.
Right. So is anybody in the chat? I know Tommy kind of opened up with his situation. Not that it is kind of personal, but it's it's his business and something he's saying he's struggling with. Does anybody else in the chat have that same feeling sometimes? Whether it's hey, I just felt that way this week, today. Are you kind of stuck in that hamster in the wheel? Long term, does anybody else have those same challenges? I know I do sometimes. It's not all the time, but I can see weeks where I'm like, oh my gosh, I did so much work and I really didn't get the benefit out of it that I needed to, and it was stuff that I needed to be doing. But I'm
gonna kind of look back through chats here a little bit. Fucking Minnesota says thinks it's quality of product, and I agree there too. I try to source better quality, higher return on investment product. But like I say, being in a small town, it's really not here. I have to travel for that. And it just makes it hard, and now we got kids that are going to be starting school. So we're going to be limited to doing that strictly on weekends. And then be a stickler for metrics. List as often as you can. Always ship on time. Answer messages refreshlessly. My metrics are really good, and I do all of those above. My customer service and shipping is. I try to keep that A1, and I'm pretty on top of that.
Right. That in my opinion, that's the stuff that's I hate to say easy to do, but really, if you're answering questions or shipping. Or, there's potential direct dollar values associated with those activities. There is with listing and this other stuff too. But if somebody's asking a question, that could immediately within the next few minutes turn into a sale, potentially.
Right.
And shipping, I'm not shipping anything unless I've sold something. There's direct 100% guarantee of, money associated with that task. Do you think
somebody asked about does online arbitrage work for me? Yeah, I have looked at it, and it would if it was to the point, like Anthony was saying, I would be able to buy the stuff in bulk, to buy like 3, 4, 5 or something online and list it, and then sell those off, and then have to order more. I don't see that being real feasible. Where if I could buy 50 or 100 of something. It would work, but you got to have that extra cash laying there that you can sit on and invest that, and that's where, and that's why I was kind of talking about that working capital loan. And I was curious if anybody's done that, because I can get my hands on a lot of inventory, a lot of what I feel is good inventory, but it's you got to buy it all type thing. You know, you don't just come in here and grab a couple pieces. I can give you this deal, but for instance, the over here at the Shopko, the guy's got all these Cisco networking hubs. I comped them out. They're comping at about $240 used, but he wants $25 a piece for them. That's great, right? But he's got 50 of them, and he wants me to buy them all.
Yeah,
Cisco's
That price, you know, and I can't do that.
Cisco is great stuff. That's probably one of my best sales I've ever made.
You know, so I mean, if I had that cash, oh man, just that alone probably would be a big jump in the issues we're having. But you know, I don't have $2,500 to invest.
yeah.
It's tough, you know, that there's a old saying, I don't know how old it is, but I've heard a lot of people say that it takes money to make money sometimes, you know.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say that, you know, that's bad for anybody that doesn't have, I mean, sometimes it takes that extra money to take it to the next level, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, but that can't be the only answer in my opinion, though, you know.
Right.
Just because you throw money in it doesn't mean you're going to grow.
Lisa just asked you, Tommy, if you could share the lot with somebody else.
Yeah, well, that would be awesome if there was somebody else that would want to go in on something like that. But honestly, the people I know are broke.
Right.
I mean, most people in my area, I don't know anybody else in my area that I could say, hey man, let's go snatch this up and we'll divvy it up or go in on it together and sell it and split the profit. There's nobody like that in my area that I deal with.
Right. I've had pretty good luck with that. I've got a friend that got me into selling the exercise equipment that I buy, and we really worked together pretty well. We almost got to the point of saying we need to start a legal business where this is our model. We go buy this exercise equipment. It's, you know, we form a partnership and all that. You know, it's been a situation where I haven't been able to go pick something up, and I'll call him, hey, can you go pick this up, and we'll just split, you know, whatever. So I have been kind of lucky with that kind of situation. I wonder if there would be any value in starting some kind of, I hate to use the word co-op, but a group of buyers, you know, almost taking that whole Sam's Club, Costco model, you know.
That's something that Nate, Every Day I'm Hustling, the guy we were just talking about a little bit ago, that's something that he wants to establish in Pittsburgh. His dad actually owns a warehouse that would allow free space as well. You know, for storage and stuff like that. So that's something that in the Pittsburgh area, if anybody's local here, we may be establishing that soon.
I'll follow that, but I was talking more along the lines of a purchasing group.
Oh, you mean like online type thing?
I don't know. I just kind of throw, you know, talking about having people local, but even within the community.
Yeah,
you know?
That would be cool.
Building some kind of group, and it would take some money. You know, obviously you wouldn't want hundreds of people, you know, going off using the Cisco stuff that you're talking about to make that purchase. You know, it'd be a lot, probably tough logistically, but building some kind of group. I hate to say a crowdsourced group or something. You know, I don't know. That would be an interesting thing to look into. And it would be tough because, you know, there's a lot of, I know there's I don't want to say there's trust issues, but it would be a lot to ask for somebody that you've never been face to face with to, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just throwing ideas out there, you know.
Unless it was like a reputable source that would kind of oversee it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm the kind of person, because I've been in computers so long, whenever I hear something, I tend to immediately start thinking of solutions to a problem.
Yeah.
I've worked in support and stuff like that. And that's the way, you know, Anthony, I think you mentioned working in a call center.
Yeah.
You get that call and your mind immediately goes, okay, what do I need to do for this customer? What do they want? What do I have to do? Who do I need to get in touch with? What do I do? And that's the same thing I do. If I hear a problem, I immediately start thinking of what are possible solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a couple people jump in. I know we hadn't said hello to. Cody Bro, welcome in. Reseller Man, how are you doing this morning? Queen City Picker, Mr. Tom, good to see you this morning. Borderline Horseradish, I'm glad you decided to finally show up this morning. I'm kidding, Kim. Welcome in. Did we miss anybody else? BK Vending and Flipping, good morning. Fishing and picking. Good morning. Margot, Florida's hidden treasures. Good morning. Glad you decided to stop by. Thank you. Rebecca. Good morning. If we hadn't said hello to anybody, please speak up in the chat so we can say hello. Ken, Mo Flips, good to see you again, man. Hadn't seen you in a while. But yeah, it's a tough situation because Tommy, I know you're putting in the work, and I know that's frustrating. If you know you're out there working your butt off and just can't make that turn, it's tough, you know.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that
like I say, it's just like a just a vicious cycle, you know. Like I say, I'm not hurting, I'm not failing, I'm just not growing.
Right. I know so many people out there are pushing. You need to hire VAs. You need to hire VAs. You know. I'm a firm believer that, like I always say, that this is not a one size fits all business.
Yeah.
You know, just because somebody needs a VA doesn't mean that you do. You know, like you said, talking about hiring somebody. You know, could you cover the cost of hiring them by selling more product? You know, is that something you could try for a period of time and see if it worked? You know, without laying out too much, you know? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to have to see, I guess one of my problems is I don't like to gamble on anything or put anything out there like, all right, I'm just going to try it. We'll see what happens. I like to know the outcome, and that's probably one of my downfalls too, because I'm looking for a guarantee that something's going to work before I do it. And there is none, you know.
Right. And I don't want to mislead you, but I've said before, I'm a calculated risk kind of person. I'm not afraid to take risk, but I need to sit back and kind of run the numbers behind the scenes and get a rough idea of what the potential is. But also, there's the whole thought of you potentially get the largest reward when the risk is higher.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to push you in that direction, but you look at using a casino, for example. You go into a casino and you got a bigger chance of hitting the full jackpot if you put 4 quarters in versus putting 1 quarter in.
It's true.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I hate to use that as an example, but that's the first thing that came to mind. You know? And again, I'm not trying to push you in that direction or say you need to do it, because we can't say what's right for you. You can't say what's right for us. You know, it's just getting those ideas out there, you know. That's blinking pretty bad. I don't know if it's from you or.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Your internet must be, because you were lagging a little bit earlier. Your video had to catch up.
I'm going to try it one more time.
Morning, Debbie.
This is just a little, there we go. A little off topic. Rebecca sent me this and asked if I could ask our chat if anybody knows what it is. It appears to me like it's for some type of game.
Yeah, that's my guess. Life points, inner spin. That's not. There is a board game called Life, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not related to that, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. But if anybody knows out there, Rebecca is looking. Or the
you know what it could be? It could be a handheld version of that game.
It could be, because there's like years, salary, lottery, chance, marriage, house, car, baby, volume, life points, dollar sign.
Rick, Starseed Picker, says it picks lotto numbers. Yeah, it definitely picks to a game. I just wonder if it's one of those just full game handheld, you know, that's got everything just built into it. Google. I'm gonna use a new site. I don't know if anybody's used it. It's called Google. Handheld life game. That's my first guess. I may be wrong.
Have you tried picture searching it? Like with eBay or Amazon?
Yeah, I use that eBay picture search, and it works out pretty well most of the time. Not all the time. Sometimes I get something way off, but
Jamie says that it's a handheld electronic life. She said she had one years ago.
Okay, that was my first guess.
There you go. Now you know.
Thanks, Jamie.
I didn't mean to jump off topic.
No.
Asked a if we could help her out with that. So I figured that's what we're here for.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's kind of why I've liked the format we've taken. We're going to talk about our topic, but we're going to respond to somebody in the chat or somebody else, trying to help if we can, because like the topic you brought up when you started talking about, some of the struggles you're having, Tommy, it's, sometimes somebody else looking at the same problem that you have in a different light, you might get a good answer. Somebody sees something a little different. That's what's so cool about working in a community like this.
Right.
Like I hate to say sometimes you're crowdsourcing solutions, you've got so many people and they all want off, because it's not.
Well, that's why I figured I'd bring it to the morning show and kind of just express, I mean, I'm usually out here saying, well, this is how I do something, or this is my opinion on something. And I figured I was going to reach out and get everybody else's input.
And I think that was a great idea, because I don't want everybody to think that we're up here trying to tell you how to do things, or we're claiming to be pros at this, or that we're any better than anybody. And I know that, hopefully people don't think that, because it's definitely not the case. But y'all learn from us. It's in our opinion, we're trying to make this a two-way street,
Right.
Not just one way. We're trying to push information down your throat. We want to be interactive and even just the road that runs all different ways, because we're helping y'all are helping us, y'all helping each other, just trying to build that whole feeling of community and all that. DC Sales says I have an off-topic question. How do you guys buy shipping for non-platform sales? This has come up for me a few times in this month. There is a couple of options. You can ship directly through PayPal, which I don't do, and I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know how well that works. If I ship anything off of this, something I sell, I've sold an item to someone in our chat recently, and they sent me money via PayPal. I went on to Pirate Ship and just calculated the shipping because she gave me the address. I was able to print the label directly. She sent me the money via PayPal, and I printed the label and shipped it. So I would suggest Pirate Ship just because that's what I use.
Yeah, that's the same I used to Pirate Ship. For like all my, a lot of my Mercari listings, I purchase my own labels because I can ship it cheaper than like the $16 that Mercari will charge for that 3 to 10 pound label.
Yeah.
And, so I use Pirate Ship for all my Mercari sales.
Yep. Hey, Todd, good deal. I know you've been busy. Glad I appreciate you stopping by this morning.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd.
He's had a rough time. That basement, I guess they had a lot of rain.
Yep.
He got out slinging dirt yesterday trying to get his grading, I guess, off the backside of his garage or his basement or whatever that is he works in.
Yeah, well, we had that issue last year. And what it was is we had in our main drain pipe going from the house out to the city sewer, they had what they called a belly in it, where the pipe just kind of went down a little bit. So it would gather there, and then things would gather in that belly, and then it would come up through the basement drain.
Wow.
And finally, luckily we rent, so they actually had to pay an excavator to come in here and dig up that whole line and relay new piping and everything. And
that is one huge advantage to renting, because we rented in the past, and it's something goes wrong, you pick up that phone, hey, come fix this stuff.
Yeah. And we've talked about it. We discussed, like buying, and it's nice because it's like, man, if I had this house, I could do this. And if I want to tear out a wall or put up something else, I can do that. And if I want to change, but then it's like, but when you have a $15,000 fix like that, that's on you. When your roof starts leaking, that's on you. I can't just call my landlord and be like, hey, our sewer's backed up.
Yep, exactly.
So I don't know. I'm kind of either way with it.
It's tough. Welcome, Jackie and Sarah. Glad y'all decided to stop by. Hope things are going well out on the left coast. But yeah, I don't know what to say, Tommy. And it's
thanks, Craig. You're a big help. I thought I was going to leave here with a whole different business plan, and I figured you'd be the one to give it to me.
If you want something to happen, if you want to get somewhere, just spin that hamster wheel a little bit faster.
Yeah. I mean, probably. I'm probably see. I'm a control freak too. That's another thing. So for me to hand over even like say a portion of my business to somebody else is like really hard for me to do because okay, I'll hire a lister that I'm going to spend 5 minutes going through their listing to verify it's done correct and to my satisfaction. So how did I really save any time? You know,
and that's my biggest argument with the whole hiring a lister. And if anybody does it, I'm not looking down on anybody that does it. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I would just have a hard time. And it's not the control thing. I think it's if I'm going to spend time looking at something, you know, if I'm going to take the pictures, which, you know, unless you have somebody sitting there in your house, in your basement, in your office, taking the pictures for you, then really taking the pictures is 90% of the listing. Like I said the other day, you know, it's if I'm going to spend a few minutes reviewing, then I might as well do the work myself.
Yeah.
I personally, if I hired somebody to do my listings for me, I think I would be in that cycle you're talking about. That I would just be spinning my wheels. I really wouldn't get a whole lot of value out of it. But that's just my situation. That's my opinion. You know.
I mean, I did hire 2 drafters, and man, pictures you couldn't do it. They'd have the collar turned on a shirt, or you know, just something that's like really. So then it was like, fine, I'll do the pictures, and you just draft. But then, you know, they would go through their title, and some of it would be capitalized, some of it wouldn't, and descriptions like had no format to them whatsoever, and it was just like, oh,
yeah, I would not be happy.
You know.
I think that's a tough situation when you're talking about listing because, like it or not, I'd be willing to bet that there's nobody out there that just loves listing. If they are in the minority, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people tolerate it. A lot of people will do it, but I don't think anybody in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong here. Please speak up. If there's somebody that just gets joy out of listing,
I'll hire you.
It's the hardest thing. I don't want to say hard. It's not demanding. It's just it takes a lot of self-discipline to do. You know.
I agree. I know that Josh Suburban Beard was saying he really enjoys it.
He's a unique fella.
Yep.
And truthfully, talking about that kind of stuff, I'm really surprised that and this has been years ago. I don't remember what they were called, the little eBay stores, not the pack and ship, but they would do all your listing for you. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that those didn't last any longer than they did. I don't know. It seems like the listing is one of the larger bottlenecks potentially that everybody runs into.
Right.
You know? Lisa C says she doesn't mind listing at all. I despise the photos. When I say listing, I that's from beginning to end on a listing. That's taking the pictures, doing the research, drafting, and publishing a listing. So, and I'm with you, Lisa. The picture take. I don't despise taking pictures, but really, it's the most time consuming of listing something.
Yeah.
Unless you're listing a stack of video games like it looks like he's doing right now. You know, I don't have a problem listing if I can get on a roll with a stack of one specific item, not one specific item, a lot of very common items like that stack, you know, where it's bang, bang, like Justin talking about doing, you know, listing those pops. He had all out. I think he's already got all of them listed. And it's like 4 pictures, bang, 4 pictures, 4, you know, just machine work. I don't know. It's
yeah, one thing I'm actually doing now, I'm doing like the opposite of listing. I'm taking stuff off of eBay because I'm going to be going out to the bins, but about 5 minutes from the bins, there's a exchange. So I'm basically taking all the pickles I've amassed, and I'm going to just take them out there. I'm going to trade them in and get some that's a better resale value.
That's cool.
There you go.
I've seen, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Chase After the Right Price. He's a reseller that does eBay and Amazon, but he mainly specializes in video games. He'll eventually just get a whole big stack of pickles, take them out to some kind of trade-in store, trade them in, find stuff that's like undervalued at the store, and flip those things. So that's what I'm trying to do with all these pickles I'm digging through. Trying to first get them all off of eBay so I don't like end up screwing myself over.
Are you selling the little quart bottles of pickles, or are you talking about the big 5-gallon or whatever?
I'm talking like all the old Madden,
I'm just
all that type of stuff.
yeah.
The Disney Infinities and Skylanders, all that stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of talk in the chat around the worst part of listing. You know, Morant Pest says that they disagree about photos being the hardest part of listing. To me, descriptions are by far the hardest part. And then along that same lines, BK Vending and Flipping, which is Matt, I believe, said, how in-depth is your research? I don't want to say I'm vague on my descriptions. I think to be a good lister, you have to be good at looking at the item you're listing as a buyer instead of a seller. Like we talked the other day, I think, briefly.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking.
If I'm gonna go out there and build my title, I do sell similar a lot. You know, I'll go out and do I don't do comps on items and then come back and do listing. I do it all at once. I'm gonna sit down and look for my item like I would as a buyer. Find one that's either the highest price, the most recent. I do a sell similar. I do very bland, basic descriptions. You know, I'm gonna give as much information as I can, as few words as I can in the description. So I'm gonna do research. You know, I'm gonna look at, you know, trying to identify my item specifically, but I'm just not one of those. You know, back in the 1990s, early 2000s, you had these descriptions that were just miles and miles and miles long, in different colors. And hey, I've got all this in my other store, and I've got this. You know, all this massive detail. I don't know if that's such a requirement anymore. I don't know. You know, and I say that because so many people are buying from mobile, in my opinion. You know, they're not going to just scroll and scroll and scroll for days. Give them the pertinent information. Give it to them clear, concise, in a small form. You know, I know people talk about using templates for like clothing listings. Tommy, don't you have like a template you use or something for your clothing?
Yeah. It's basically just like a size template, a measurement template.
Right.
You know, and it's not even anything that I have saved as templates in eBay. It's just kind of basically in Notepad, and we copy and paste it into the description.
But it's clear, concise, and
right.
Right. You're not going to go out and this would be great for going to a ball. This would be great for this. You know, it's just, hey, color, size, pit to pit, bam. And I don't think people want to see a bunch of fluff in the description. Again, just my opinion.
Yeah.
When I got started a couple of years ago, in my real approach to reselling, I went out and looked at a bunch of listings and stuff, and a lot of people had, hey, here's my description, here are my business policies, here's this, I'll ship within 2 days. Well, dang it, they're getting all that from your listing already. You know, I just got to the point where I copy my title, I put my title in there with a bold, heading. I copy my condition and any additional notes and put that in my description. And I have a thing at the bottom that just says international shipping will be covered through GSP. Mm-hmm. And that's it. I don't put in there anything about free shipping because that's going to come out in the listing at the listing level. Is it right because I do that? No, that's what works for me, And the more time you spend on that kind of stuff, that slows you down in listing more items.
Right.
I mean, what's everybody else think? I mean, that's the approach I take. I think so much more value is given on the item specifics these days.
Yeah, I think there's more weight put into that. I mean, when I look at stuff that I'm buying, especially not so much clothing, but with hard goods, I look at the item specifics more than I actually look at the description, because if I'm looking for I already know what this item is, but I might want to know like what wattage it is, or what accessories or what the specs are on that particular piece, if it's a piece that varies, from one to another. More than I read the description. I basically in the description just want to know if it's working or not,
Yeah.
Is this something that has a problem, or are you telling me it works as it should?
Yeah. There's a lot of good points in the chat, and I completely agree with some of these points that are being made. Just me, Kathy says no one reads our description anymore. Heck yes, I agree 175% on that. Maggie Doodle, on mobile, they don't even see the item description. That's exactly why I don't think they read the description, because they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the condition description, which comes up. I try to put everything there and in the title. I completely agree. because the way technology is moving, you see so much more traffic on mobile. If you're searching on mobile, what are the chances you're going to, because I think it's one more tap to get the description. Most people are going to look at that first image, your title and your condition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And then, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, if I could figure out ways to,
listings.
if I could figure out ways to speed up my listing process, that would probably help in my time management. Now, I recently just really started using TerraPeak. I mean, I know it's been around forever, and eBay's had it, you know, somewhat included into your store accounts and stuff, but that has saved me a ton of time and research over the past 2 weeks.
Can you explain how to use TerraPeak for anyone that hasn't used it?
I'm actually thinking about, I just walked Rebecca through it the other day, and she said she's noticed a big difference and found it way helpful as far as her time. To explain it, I actually think I'm going to do a video on that, maybe even this afternoon,
I think that'll be really helpful.
and upload that.
Just a walkthrough because it's relatively new in the I mean, the TerraPeak's been out there, but it's just been relatively recent, handful of months that they've given it to us free, you know, through eBay.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good topic.
Yeah, it helped me drastically save time and research, and it also helped in if you're not sure how to title something, it really helps with building an SEO title.
Yep.
And I know it has a lot more features that I haven't dug into yet, but it works for what I need it to do so far. And as I learn the other features, I'll probably be like, man, I wish I would have known that a long time ago too.
Right. Now, good morning, Neville. Thanks for stopping in. Moronic Pest. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate it. So thinking you mentioned if you were more efficient or something with your listing, that you think that would help you with your time management. Just, I wonder if thinking of it as a, I don't want to say having stations, but you know, you talk about hiring, you know, having somebody there, trying that out. I wonder if it worked like an assembly line, you know?
Right.
You doing the draft, and somebody take a picture. Let the third person, and it takes some overhead, but you know, that works in the manufacturing, you know, area. You know,
Right.
Line. But could you get it down to that? And I'm not saying you, I'm just talking in general. Could we get it down to a process? I'm here drafting, hand it, take a picture of that. Maybe have two people taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I think to scale it to a higher level, you're going to have people sitting there with you, in my opinion, to be efficient.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you get say two people drafting, comping, building the listing, two people taking pictures, two people taking those items and putting them in the bins and marking the, you know, inventory locations, all that. I mean, that's ramping up very quickly, you know, and that's a lot of money. But if you want to really take it to that, again, hate to use the word level, but you know, and you got
tell me your opinion on this, you guys and the people in chat. But I don't know, some parts of me tell me that ain't right, and other parts are like, yeah, why not? But we have a senior living home here, and there's a lot of seniors that are just there by themselves alone. Like there's not much family involvement there. And I actually thought about maybe going over there and looking for some help with listings, just to give some of these seniors that are just bored because they're stuck there, you know, maybe they would be into helping me out and make a few extra bucks and give them something to do and feel needed and part of something.
right.
I don't think that's a bad idea. If the only thing is, do they know how to use technology?
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed with a lot of seniors, because I'll pick up my wife's grandma and I'll take her sourcing with me a lot, just because she is basically stuck in a high rise all day, and she just gets bored. You know, she's bored out of her mind. She's sitting there all day, and you know, there's nothing to do. So yeah, I think that that's a great idea as long as they know how to use the technology.
You know, I could see something, just using this as an example, if you want to do something like that, is taking, I know you sell a lot of clothing, and you polybag everything, right? And you put your labels on it. Go out and I'm sure they could use something like that for some form of therapy. Go out there with a stack of clothes. Say, hey, would y'all mind doing something like this? And have
Right.
just do an assembly line. Hey, this person takes it, put it in the poly bag. The next person closes the poly bag. The next person slaps a label on it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that'd be something you'd have to talk with, the administration on and say, hey, would there be some kind of activity that would benefit?
And when I think about that, I think of you guys remember that movie with Ben Affleck and what the heck's his name? But Dodgeball.
Yeah.
And they had the grandma that was in the nursing home, and the guy was like slave driving all these old people to make quilts and stuff like that. It's like, man, I don't want to be looked at like that. That just that's the image that comes in my head. I'm going to a senior home. I'm gonna see if people want to work for me.
You said, didn't you mention are you close to a college?
We're not close to a college. We're about an hour and 15 minutes away from our closest college.
I was about to say maybe you could.
Yeah, if I was closer to a college, I'd definitely post it up on their bulletin boards or something. I don't think I'd have. And like I said, it's all location.
What about your high school? Do y'all have any here? I live in a county, and our county has what they call a technical school. My daughter went there for a couple of years. She went there to learn cosmetology. It's where they teach you at the high school level. You go in there and learn welding and all these other things. Where it's, I don't want to say it's any less than the standard, high school classes, but a lot of people go there to learn a skill.
Yeah, we do right in town here have a mid-state technical college. It's real small, and I think they only offer like a handful of different things there. But that is an idea that maybe I could go there and post something up on their board or something.
Well, go in and see if you can talk to like the administration. I don't know who you would talk to, but say, hey, I'm a small company. I have an e-commerce business. I'm looking for some interns that want to learn the e-commerce business, and see if you can get somebody like that. I mean, if it's an intern, theoretically, you're not having to pay somebody. They're wanting to learn how to do something.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not a bad idea.
And that's, you get people that are eager to learn, potentially. Obviously your risk of opening up your home to these people, because you don't know what kind of people you're going to get. But there would probably be a lot less risk from a financial perspective,
right?
Potentially. I don't know. That you'd have to talk to that somebody in administration or at this college and see.
It's definitely something to look into.
What's up, Nate? Good to see you. I haven't been watching the chat at all. I'm sorry. FGS, good morning. Guys, we haven't said hello to anybody. Please speak up. Joanna Parrish, good morning. Glad you stopped by. What is going on? Sorry. I got to run in my mouth and wasn't even thinking. I'm sorry. Good morning, D. I hope everybody's been wandering over after we get done to watch D. D is a trip. She's a lot of fun. Lisa C says, high schools have DECA, which I have heard of DECA. I never knew what it stood for. She says, Distributive Education Clubs of America, kids prepping for business careers. So, yeah, that might be a good place to look in your high school. Go and say, hey, I'm small business looking to see if I can work with your DECA group.
Yeah.
And you just say, hey, they may have requirements. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know. Lisa, that's a great idea for sure.
See, and this is why I brought it to the show, because you never know what you can get out of it.
Yeah. And Tom's got a great point, and I didn't even think of it at that level because I've never considered bringing somebody in. So you have to get a heavy liability policy when you have people in your house working, If they came in and something fell or your house collapsed, I know it wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying, that would make the business liable for that. So you just got to be careful there. And I don't think those liability policies are very expensive. You can get a general liability policy that should cover you. But I'm not in the business advice business, so please don't take that as I'm gonna throw my little waiver out there.
No, I'm gonna call my insurance company and be like, hey, the land shark picker said you ain't gonna charge me a lot for this policy.
And he said it would cost me 37 cents a day. So dang it, make it happen. Lisa C says, I was in mine in high school, volunteered to give a speech on reselling, take it from there. Good idea.
Yeah,
Bad idea at all.
that actually.
I don't know about you. I would have a hard time getting up in front of a crowd and talking about it. But even in front of a class, which is hard to believe. And I struggle with public speaking. I took a speech course in high school, and I went to a small high school, and I could never get a full speech out. I hated it.
I actually thought about running like eBay for beginner seminar here in our area, and like, you know, I'd host it in Wisconsin Dells because I could get one of the best rates on their convention, one of their convention rooms at the casino stuff. They're dirt cheap, and just charging a nominal fee, because I always get asked, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you get started? Well, how do you even begin? You know. Yeah. And I thought about just maybe doing a small seminar and charging a nominal fee and open it up to 40 people at a time and tell them, you know, bring your laptop, bring 3 items you want to list to get started, and just kind of just run a seminar and take them through step by step.
I think that's a great idea.
Taking your account, if you don't have one, to how it's listed, and when it ships, this is when it sells, this is what you're going to have to do.
That's a good idea. And you might want to look into it. And I don't know what these things are called. I think we've got one here. They have like a business incubator where small startups and bootstrap businesses are getting started, go and they lease space, and it's a bunch of startups. But there's also an idea of shared working space. I'm trying to think of how to word this. I know I've seen it like workshops where you're going in and wanting to use woodworking equipment, for example. You know, if you've got 50 companies that are working on doing something woodworking, then I'll go in there and share this equipment, and you pay a small nominal fee.
Okay.
You know, I wonder if doing something like that, instead of having somebody coming in to your house, take 10 totes of stuff and go into an area like that that's a shared working environment, maybe set something up there. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that. I mean, I don't think there's any bad ideas. There may be some ideas that'll work, some ideas that won't. But, you know, I'm at the point to where I'm just looking for input.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Caffeinated Christy, not Thrifty Christy anymore. Good morning. Yeah, I think it's a challenge for sure, because it's so easy to get to that level of you're spinning that hamster wheel. I don't want to say it's easy, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's easy to get to that maintaining level. It's taking that next turn is tough. Yeah, no cha-chings over here, Mr. Minnesota, Mr. and Mrs. whoever that is.
Well, that was my second sale since the show started.
Nice. Did you try that higher promoted?
Yeah, I actually did that this morning. I switched it around and went with the rates we talked about. I didn't know how it'd work out, but it seems like it's making a difference, because I haven't usually had any sales during the morning show. But I did have a good yesterday before changing that too. So we'll see. I'm gonna run it for a few days and then refresh it and run it through the weekend and then see what the outcome is.
And that's the hardest thing with making changes like that. And not that change, but, you know, trying to I hate to say fix your sales, because that's wrong, but any changes you make, like I talked before, it's so hard to figure out, is it the change I made or the fact that I made a mass change and touched everything? It's so tough.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think there's a secret sauce to this. I really don't.
It'd be nice if there was.
So many variables involved. I'm sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
I said that'd be nice if there was secret sauce.
Yeah. I think the only
if there's secret sauce.
I think the only secret sauce is just stay after it and keep working. You know.
Yeah, I believe that too. I think it's just about, you know, the biggest thing obviously is the listing. You know, be consistent in your listing, and then I try to at least every 30 days retouch a listing in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just dropping it 5 cents. You know,
right?
Just make a change so it's touched, and and keep it going.
DC Sales says promote your school supplies, backpacks, iPad cases for sure. This is a great season for that kind of stuff. I've done real well with football equipment lately because it's football season is starting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my cleats have been starting to leave.
Yep, mine too. I've been sitting on cleats forever now, and they're just starting to, begin to sell.
But those are the things that you listed, and potentially knowing that they were going to wait until this time to sell. I'm not the kind of person, and Amazon is a lot different, in my opinion, when it comes to seasonal items. If I know something's going to sell better in a certain time frame on Amazon, I would potentially wait until a month or so before that season to send it in. But eBay, I'm not the kind of person that's going to hold something because I know it's going to sell, because you might sell throughout the year. It's like selling jackets in the middle of summer.
Matt's asking how often do we run sales. I'm a little bit different than these guys. These guys are basically always running sales. I price my stuff like pretty low, like competitively. I'm always one of the guys that are like just under the going rate. So I only run sales when I'm looking to liquidate stuff or certain times a year. Whenever I'm really looking to ramp up sales, my stuff sells through pretty well at 1%, 1% promoted, and from there, I just basically run a sale whenever I either need to liquidate a category or I'm looking to ramp up sales for a certain time of year.
I think that's the two different camps of thought. And one's not right and one's not wrong. For the it's Anthony prices low and moves stuff. I think I price higher on the higher end and run sales all the time.
Right.
I've constantly got a sale going. And it depends on how long I've had something as to how big that sale potentially could get. I've gone through the phase of trying something at just a higher price for 30 days and letting it, see if I can get that top dollar for 30 days, and then start marking it down.
I run consistent sales that I refresh every 48 hours. The end, and then I restart them, and they vary a little bit in percentage. Usually it was between like a 15 and 20% sale. Trying something a little bit different now, but I price up and I take that sale discount into account. So I mean it's kind of the Walmart thing. Let's mark it up and put it on sale.
Yeah, that's kind of the approach I took.
And I believe, I have no data to base it on, but I believe when you run a sale, it helps with the eBay algorithm in search. I believe that. I don't know that.
Well, think over the last year, eBay's algorithm has just completely changed. We went from the whole getting that big bump for offerings, free shipping, things like that. Now we're smashed with this, good till canceled. So many big people's business models got turned upside down with that whole good till canceled change. Obviously people have adapted and found ways to recreate that. But I know so many people, and I was in that boat where I would do 5 and 7 day listings because you used to get so much of a bump at the beginning of your listing, and first day and a half, last day and a half. If you're doing a 5 day listing, you're getting 3 days worth of bump. You've got a small window in the middle that you didn't get a bump.
Right.
But it's crazy. And I think that's the key, like we've talked on shows before. eBay changes, Amazon changes, Mercari changes. You gotta analyze those changes and adjust. You can't just. I know somebody that's doing the same thing they've been doing for 20 years, selling on eBay. Are they selling things? Yes. Could they be selling more because they adjust? Yes, in my opinion. Because what you did 20 years ago isn't going to benefit you now, more than likely.
Do you guys use the make an offer?
I do, yeah. I put an offer on everything.
No, I mean, like where you can send the individual offers to.
Oh, yeah. I do. I try to do that every day, if not every other day. Because my whole business strategy, if I get stuff super cheap, like stuff I get from the bins or super cheap at yard sales, I'll let sit for a while. But for the most part, I want to keep turning over inventory and keep my cash flow running.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, I hate to keep saying it, but Again, this is not a one size fits all. We can only tell you what we do and what works for us. The same methodology, whatever we're talking about, could have a different impact on anybody else. So,
Yeah, for sure.
do your research, do your due diligence, try it, see if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, try something else. You know. But yeah, Tom said, Queen City Picker says, I use make offer on all. If it's not a good offer, you can counter or decline. I don't think buyers are really comfortable with make offers. I do best offer on every item I list. I almost feel like I'm that fear of missing out in that respect.
Yep. I do. I have the offers on everything, and I never decline an offer. I don't care how low ball it is. I always counter.
I'm the same way.
And
Yeah,
I've had a lot of times where I'd get a guy, you know, they're allowed, what is it, 5 times or something to make you an offer,
Like that, yeah.
and they'd consistently come back low, and I would counter with what I was willing to accept, and more than a handful of times, while doing that, I've had somebody else come across and buy it during this offer exchange at regular asking price.
Exactly. I've had that exact same thing happen. Well,
And
the good thing is you're seeing activity on your account. It's active engagement.
Right. I think when somebody's making you repeated offers, even if they're low ball offers, it's telling eBay, look, there's people interested in this item. Let's show it to more people. And again, it's just something I think may be happening in the background. I don't know this for sure, but I always counter. Always. I've never declined an offer.
And that's where I've chosen to take off, because at some point eBay used to automatically turn on that if you do best offer, it would automatically turn on a certain percentage of declining things, and you had to uncheck it to turn it off.
Right.
I do exactly the same thing. I don't just flat out decline. I'm a counter because it builds that engagement, you know. And some people don't like seeing those, you know, they don't like dealing with the low ball offers. But you could be potentially hurting yourself by doing that. I'm not saying you are, potentially though.
I'd rather have a low ball offer than no offer.
Right.
I mean, it's different. You know, our job as a seller is to sell something for the best price we can get.
Yep.
The deal for a buyer is to buy something at the best price they can get.
Exactly.
That's like a built-in auction, you know?
Yep.
Not that we're fighting against each other, but we're out there. It's just like you're at a yard sale haggling over a price.
Exactly. You know, and I hear people all the time, especially like in the forums, they'll just go on a tangent about all the lowball offers they get, and they get so upset. But you know what? When I'm at the flea market, I'm throwing them lowball offers at the sellers, you know?
Yeah, aren't we all?
So I don't get mad at it. I mean, hey, it's worth a try, right? And there's times where I've accepted lowball offers because it's like, wow, I've been sitting on this thing for 18 months, and well,
Out of here.
still making a couple dollars on it. I can get my money back and turn it into something better. Yeah, I'll take it.
And that's another reason I don't like the auto decline, because it doesn't have that logic of how long I've had an item. How bad do I want to get rid of this item?
Yeah.
That same logic could not, if I've got widget A and widget B, I might take that low ball offer on widget B because I've had it so long, because it's something it takes up a lot of space.
Right.
That same logic may not apply to widget A because I can afford to hold on to it. It's a small. I'm going to make a lot more money if I hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to. FGS, yeah, auto decline works for her. Says it's a time saver. Again, not a one size fits all, and we're not saying you're doing it wrong by doing this. You know, we're just up here presenting our opinions and the way that we do business. You know,
I don't use the auto decline. I don't use the auto accept either. You know, to set those limits, because I actually like to see every offer that comes in, and you know, like you say, there's different factors. You know, if I just listed it, you know, I'm not going to take a low ball offer. I'm not going to take even probably a medium offer on it, because I just listed it. I'm going to give it some time to get out there in front of some eyes. And I just like to be, again, it's one of the control things. I want to control it. I don't want eBay to make the the decision. I can't say, one day I might be I'm in a good mood, and if I take this offer, I can take my honey out to the Chinese buffet. Yeah, that'll pay for that. Like, no, I'm not going that low. So you might make me an offer one day, and I'll decline it and make it again, and I'll accept it.
Especially if Chinese buffets on the line.
Right. I'm telling
you. Express, right? There's so many factors that build, like you were saying a minute ago, so many factors that build into whether I'm willing to take an offer. How long I've had it. What kind of mood I'm in that day. Yep. What time of the month it is.
Yep.
Like I said, is the wife wanting to go eat Chinese? If she is, dang it, I'm going to take that $30 offer for $150. I'm not saying I would, but there's so many factors. It's not and I think that's what the point you were trying to make, Tom. That's why I don't want eBay making those decisions for me.
Right.
It's tough. There's not that human element.
Exactly.
Ken, exactly. Ken, Tom said he said a couple things sell at full price when he's negotiating with somebody else. It's activity. And I don't know if it has the same effect if it's the auto responder, the auto decline, the auto accept, all that going back and forth. I don't know.
All right. Like I say, I've had that happen more than a handful of times.
Yeah. I was asking how Monday Night Raw was. It was a blast, man. Had a really good time. I have a few clips from it in my vlog I did yesterday.
Lisa C's got another good point. I don't use auto decline because I want to be aware of the interest in the item that I have. I know I can find the auto declines in my seller page, but that's not on my radar. Yeah, you never see those. You don't know if those offers are coming in. I hate to say it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you get that offer, but it's in your forefront. It stimulates, hey, I need to go do something. Maybe I need to make a small change. I've had a situation a couple of times where I've had a lot of watchers on an item. There was a great price on it. Nobody would pull the trigger. Until I don't remember what the item was. I raised my price. So a couple of dollars, and then raised a decent amount, and it sold at a higher price because people were like, this is about to go out of sight price wise, and somebody jumped on it.
Yeah, I've done the same there too. It's weird. Now, did it sell because you changed the price? Did it sell because you touched the listing?
Don't know. And I think that's the struggle. And I think if you have anybody out there that says, here's the special sauce to eBay, I don't know if there is one. I don't know if there's anybody that can tell you within 100% this is how you sell more on eBay.
Yeah.
Outside of following best practices.
Right.
It's tough. That, like I've said before, I've been selling since the late 90s, early 2000s. Things were totally different back then. You list something and it's sold.
Lisa C asked if the Doc Martens sold yet. That I told Key Lime Kisses I'd give her a gift card for if I raised the price up on them, and they sold within 30 days, and they haven't. I'm going to check it out and see what my views are on it, though.
I was about to say, have you got any more traffic since you raised them?
Yeah, I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, I don't remember how many watchers I had on that item. It was a good number. It was apparently a pretty highly sought for item. I wish I remember what the item was, but I wouldn't raise it high. I mean, you can definitely try it. You have nothing to lose, really, especially if you have best offer enabled. DC sales, I agree. Sometimes watchers are competitors. People want to see, or viewers, wanting to see how well an item does that you've got listed.
Sure.
Watchers can be very deceiving, I think, because a lot of times it's not just somebody watching it because they want to see, where it is.
Okay. Well, okay. I raised the price on. I refreshed the listing. Since the refreshing of the listing, which I believe was right around the first, got it written down here somewhere. I know I had till the end of the month for him to sell for Key Lime to get a thing. I got 117 views on it, no watchers.
I don't know. Glad you stopped by, Tom. I'm sure I'll talk to you at some point today. Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time watching my watchers. Yeah, exactly. It's it's like watching your views and your subs on YouTube. You can easily get obsessed with it, but it is what it is. Anything else in the chat? We are on Anthony's channel tomorrow, right?
Yep, we'll be on my channel tomorrow. We're going to be discussing what's in our death piles tomorrow.
Oh no!
If you guys,
I'm gonna be sick tomorrow.
So you have a little bit of intel. I'm sure there's probably something in there you forgot you even bought. So yeah, we'll be digging tomorrow, guys. We're gonna talk about what we have in our death pile.
Now I did a test because I know that I have problems with StreamYard on my phone, but I did a test and it seems to work pretty good on my iPad. So I'll probably join that way so I can go to my death pile.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, you guys aren't going to want to miss tomorrow then. It's going to be a real interesting episode, to say the least.
That'll be fun. I think it will be.
Yeah.
And do you ever have that working through your pile, your 401k pile, your money pit, your death pile, whatever you call it, and you pull something out and it's like, oh my gosh, why have I not listed this yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a sneak peek. See that pile right there in the center of the room behind the mannequin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But do you have that same satisfaction like when you find that home run item at the store versus in your death pile?
Well, what happens, how it becomes the death pile is I start listing with what I think is going to sell the fastest and the highest value first.
Yep.
And then we end up going somewhere, have an appointment, make a run, stop, pick something, source some more stuff. And the highest value thing goes. And this, I'm going to make money on it, but, it might sit a little bit, or it's going to be a longer tail item, or it's not going to sell for as much as this. So I'm listing this first. So that pile just kind of, it grows. It's not huge. It grows up and then it gets knocked down and then it grows and it gets knocked. But there's stuff that's been sitting over there for 2 years.
Yep. It's tough. It's so easy for those piles to grow, especially if you buy stuff in bulk.
Yep. That's for sure.
Wow. It's tough, and I know that's something everybody struggles with. I wish there was a magic sauce to make them disappear. And I don't remember who made the comment earlier, but it was a very valid point. I know we were talking about, your challenges, Tommy, with turning the next, getting over that hump and all that. And somebody said, have you considered lotting items up more?
That's what I'm currently getting in the process of doing, is lotting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for example, these were all single listings. I just pulled these all off of eBay. I'm going to take these to the exchange and basically just get whatever I can get to make money on. Then I'm going to, for example, these are all Wii games. These are going in lots. I'll cherry pick out whatever ones are basically good games. I'll sell those separate, but then the rest are going in a lot.
Yeah, I'm considering, especially like clothes that I've had for a while, maybe lotting up like similar sizes and styles, and then
it's a good idea
on a listing like that.
I never even thought to do that.
It'd be nice if eBay gave you the option to select a couple of listings, say combine these all into one listing.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I think it'd be a terrible challenge, and it would be a technological nightmare, but that would be neat.
And I gotta say this, I gotta tell people though, I do know the secret sauce to make your death piles go away.
Let's drop them.
You can't source until you have every bit of it listed. But who does that?
I don't know about you guys, but I find comfort in having a death pile, knowing that if by some reason I can't find good stuff to source, I have stuff that I can list.
Yeah, it's kind of like money in the bank. Just having it there, knowing, okay, I got money sitting there that I'm not missing at this point. But but yet I am because I'm complaining that I'm not moving.
Get back on your hamster wheel and just start running.
Right.
Lisa C says, listen as soon as you walk in the door with it, only solution I could come up with. Exactly. That is the simple solution. But like Tommy said, how many of us can do that every time you buy something?
Yeah.
I completely agree, Lisa, and I wish there was a secret sauce to make everybody stick to that. But if we did that, nobody would have a death pile at all.
Yep.
And that, it's tough. It's hard. If it was easy, none of us would have death piles.
Yeah.
Right. The key is to list more than you source, and that just it's hard.
It's the only way you make a dent in it. But if you don't like listing, it's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
One thing I've got to get over is buying something in bulk and trying to get pennies out of individual items. You buy say you buy a Gaylord or a pallet of stuff, and you get home, and those high dollar items, those high profit items, are the easiest things to list.
Right.
Then you get down to the onesie twosie minimal profit items. I've got to get in my mind, I just need to throw that away. I just need to donate that. Because even if I donate it to a thrift store, I'm getting I'm getting a tax write-off for that because it's donated out,
Right.
But you got to find that comfort level of what items do I list, what items do I get rid of. If I haven't listed something in so long and it's sitting in my death pile and it's minimal profits, do I just need to get rid of it? I don't know. Again, I don't think there's a one size fits all.
No, there's definitely not. But let's see, we're running about 25 after. We want to shut her down in about 5 minutes, 10:30.
Yeah, I'm good with about 5 minutes because I have to get ready to go meet Nate.
Yep.
Then I'm to go to the post office. And I'm running late on that too.
That's cool. DC Cell says pallets will drag you down, way, way down. And I think maybe not the line of the pallets, but that's almost what scares me about storage unit auctions. I could see buying one or two and just getting flooded with stuff, and that death pile would just grow incredibly, potentially.
Oh yeah.
That scares me.
I've thought about getting into the pallet because that's where you're going to get your cheapest merchandise in most cases.
Yeah.
But there's so much risk in it too, because what if you buy a bad pallet? Now you just put all that money. I think I would feel comfortable if I had money to buy like maybe 3 pallets at a crack, because then hopefully, even if you do get a bad pallet, the other 2 are going to recoup that,
The best way to go about pallets is getting one that has a manifest with it, so you can call in there before you even go ahead and pull the trigger.
If you're talking the bulk.com or the liquidation.com or those kind of things, I know Chris, Liquidation OH, has bought a good bit of stuff there, and that's one of the things he always says, if I remember right, is always go for the manifested ones if you're going to get into it, because it's a risk, but it's more of a calculated risk, like I said earlier with other items.
Yeah.
But it's different. There's so many different ways you can go with sourcing, and they all have their pluses and minuses. You just got to identify what's best for you. If you don't have space, you have no business going out bidding on storage auctions or buying pallets in bulk,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's interesting. Maybe we need to reach out. I just saw FGS say she does mostly liquidation. I have a couple of boxes in my living room. I know we've talked about doing a spotlight the seller or whatever. I think the 3 of us and Derek included typically take the same model for sourcing.
Yeah.
Within reason, I think we need to find some people to bring on that maybe do something a little bit different. When I say differently, I don't mean right, wrong, or indifferent, but something different than what we do typically.
Yeah.
Somebody does liquidations. Somebody does storage units. Somebody, trying to get a fresh perspective or a different conversation maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So FGS, we need to set up a time for you to come on. I know you said you come on a Friday. We just need to find a good time. Did we end up with somebody for Friday this week?
I
know we had talked to somebody.
Did you talk to Misha?
I know she said she would. I have not seen her. I think she was. I think I've got her on Facebook.
I know she was in
I
Darlene's.
thought we were going with Misha. That's why I haven't really reached out to anyone.
I just wanted to make sure. I think that's the case. I just wanted to clear my head. And
But either way, we'll figure it out.
I'll send her a message on Facebook and make sure. So anything on heading out?
Yeah. FGS says she could this Friday too. If
Okay.
can't get hold of Misha.
Sounds good.
I just sent Misha something on Facebook, and I know she's been hanging out, and Tommy's been having a late night live. I know she's been over there a couple of times, so we'll.
Hey, Craig, did you want to drop the link to the group just for anybody that might not have it?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'll go get it. It's gone up to $39.99. No, I'm kidding. My sales are down on eBay, so I got to recoup that money somehow. Yeah, I'll grab it.
Dad's Vintage Garage. It was awesome. I have a few clips from it in my vlog from yesterday if you want to go back and check it out.
Well, we definitely appreciate everybody coming in and watching the past hour. God, it's been so easy to run long on these now.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
And that's a tribute to first the chat, the viewers. I don't think we would carry on this conversation as long as we do if it was just the 3 or 4 of us up here on the panel. I think interaction with the chat has been instrumental in the success of this show, how well they flown, whatever the right word would be. You know, seems like we just work into a different topic, and it's been very, very fluid, and we really appreciate that.
Completely agree.
You know, so it has nothing to do with us. It's all on y'all, everybody in the chat, all the viewers. The success is all on y'all, and we really appreciate it.
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah, Cliff. I know they were up. Pretty late. But I don't have anything other than just get out there and do the work. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out, please, helping Tommy out. Check out the Facebook group if you don't mind, and be on Anthony's tomorrow and Friday.
Yep. We'll have another double upload day tomorrow.
Nice. Check that out for sure. And Tommy said he's going to work on the that video on what we were talking about earlier.
Terapeak.
Terapeak, yes. So be looking for that.
Like I say, I don't know everything about Terapeak yet, but I know enough to help with your SEO titles and your research. Save time on your comping, basically.
I don't know if you guys are into video games either, but getting ready to put together a few lots for Derek's auction on Monday. So anyone else likes video games out there, there'll definitely be some available on Monday.
That'll be the pickle lot, right?
No, I'm getting ready today.
I'm kidding.
I'll be putting together some good stuff for Derek's auction.
I'm kidding. Yeah, that's cool. Anybody have anything coming up? I know we've got D here in about 30 minutes. Any other stuff going on? Again, nobody, don't be afraid to promote anything you have coming up in the chat, in the Facebook group, anywhere. So it's Wednesday already.
Yep, it's flying.
Yeah, time just goes. But yeah, I don't know. I'll work on that Terapeak video. It'll probably be not a real long video because I'll keep it simple and to the point. Like I say, I don't know all the ins and outs of Terapeak, but I'll try to get that up. And other than that, I don't know. The only thing I'm looking forward to is Friday afternoon. We are children free for about 9 days.
Raise the roof.
Get a little mini vacation without going anywhere before school starts.
A staycation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be nice. Hope you guys have fun.
Yep.
Sure, for sure. So, all right, then I think with that we're gonna close her down here, and everybody, thank you for coming. See you on Anthony's channel tomorrow morning.
Yes, indeed.
And with that, I guess we'll be out.
See you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Peace. And it's go.